So, how's it going, everyone? It's Javi here, and I've been meaning to do this live stream for quite some time now. Because of course I hit 2,000 subscribers, but so long ago. Last time I hit it, it was December. Well, yeah, it was December. It was on December 15th. It's now February. So I've been meaning to do this video or this live stream for 2 months now. Never been able to do it because typically this is like the time when I reserve to actually make the videos. It like over the past 2 months, I've been busy like making weather videos. Of course, I'm in school too. I have homework. I typically this is the time I use the reserve for homework to do the videos as well. But now I have a little bit of free time, and yeah. I first off, I want to say thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. It means a lot to me. Never thought, like even like 3 years ago, the idea of 2,000 subscribers was crazy to me. I like to be honest, I'm like, yeah, I never like pictured myself being in that position. And 2,000 subscribers isn't a ton by any means, y- but yeah, it's like I'm just happy to have this following, to be honest. And thank you for three people who tuned in. You guys could ask me anything, doesn't need to be weather related. I'm here to answer it. Just want to interact with you guys a little bit more. Yeah, I hit 2,000 subscribers. Wanted to do at least something, but I emphasize I thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. Let me see. Let me see what I can talk about. Any questions that you guys might be curious about? So this winter so far, super quiet. I've been hoping for at least one big snowstorm for the Northeast. I live in northern New Jersey, by the way, in the New York City metropolitan area. And yeah, it's just been super, super quiet. Where did your voice come from? Awesome bass. Yeah, no, my voice is so deep. Yeah, I guess I was just born like this, to be honest. My voice, of course, when I was a kid, wasn't always like this, but yeah, my voice just managed to get deep like this, and I love my voice, to be honest. Yeah, it's a nice deep voice, and I'm thankful for having it, especially like for what I do, um, like forecast the weather. It's a good broadcasting voice, and I'm super thankful I was able to get to be blessed to have this voice. To be honest, so yeah, I guess genetics is where my voice came from. Thank you, Nomi. Thank you. Yeah, I love my voice too. Super thankful for it, to be honest. But yeah, this winter has been just so quiet. Been hoping for a big snowstorm to move through northern New Jersey, but it's already February. And we do see some bigger storms in February. February, in fact, is the most active month for Northeast when it comes to winter storms. And then March still could be pretty active. Like March is either a hit or miss. Sometimes March could be the most active month of the winter season. I remember March of 2018, we had like four snowstorms impact the Northeast, pretty much a snowstorm every week, which was quite insane. But there are other Marches where it immediately just starts out super warm, where we have temperatures in the 70s, and sometimes like the leaves start coming out during the more warmer Marches, which is quite insane. To be honest, how much of a hit or miss a March is. But yeah, I'm still hoping for that big snowstorm right up along Northeast coast. I'm of course, if you saw my latest video, we're paying close attention to that Midwest snowstorm, and then but I have another like really good feeling that it's probably mainly going to impact the interior Northeast and the Midwest, like it always does, which is a little bit disappointing. I want a Northeast snowstorm, but we'll see. There's still time in the winter. Uh, Yeah, I'll say most likely late February because based on what we're seeing, in early February and middle of February. It does seem like the Northeast, at least the coastal Northeast, will get involved with a heavy snowstorm. Do you think Louisville, Pennsylvania, or Louisville? I apologize, but do you think Louisville, Pennsylvania, will get a bad snowstorm? I am too, wanting it so bad. Let me just check the map and see where Lewistown is in Pennsylvania because I'm not 100% sure. So Louisville. Okay, that's like central Pennsylvania. That's, yeah, right in the middle of Pennsylvania. So yeah, the chances are definitely higher in Louisville, Pennsylvania to receive some snowfall um what you're going to see along the coastal Northeast. It's certainly more possible. Of course, since you're further from the Atlantic Ocean, you won't necessarily experience the warmer temperatures that are associated with the coastal regions because, of course, there's a little bit of lag when it comes to temperature between the surface and the ocean. So the coastal regions are typically a little bit warmer. So in Louisville, Pennsylvania, there is a more likely chance of snow in general, but for this next snowstorm, it doesn't seem like I again have the feeling that the European mall is going to be the more correct one, and the chance of snow for Louisville is a little less likely, but we'll see. There's still a lot of time to iron out the forecast. So, yeah, I'd say late February is probably the best shot for snow for much of the Northeast. Only problem is that when we get snow in February and March, snow melts quicker. That's true, yeah, because it gets warm like really quick as soon as we hit March. Also, like you said, when the leaves are out and the snows are big, more power outages. That's another thing too. I remember there was this big snowstorm that hit the coastal Northeast October 29th, 2011, literally a year before Hurricane Sandy. And that caused a ton of power outages, not only because the snow was heavy, wet snow, of course, since it's early in the season, the temperature isn't necessarily that cold in October for the snow to be more of that fluffy, lighter snow. The snow was very wet and heavy, but it wasn't only that. It was the fact that there were still leaves on the trees in October. So there were a ton of power outages associated with that snowstorm throughout the Northeast. And um, so yeah, when we get a snowstorm, so if we were to get a snowstorm later during the spring season, it will typically be a lot worse. That increases the chance of power outages once we begin to see foliage on the trees, and also it melts a lot quicker, so you get less time to like enjoy that snow for much of the Northeast. No problem, Nomi. I do these videos for you guys. Yeah, like I've always had that incentive to help people. I've always wanted to be reliable to people when it comes to forecasts, and it just makes me so happy to see so many people enjoy my videos. Like I said earlier, like I never thought I could get to 2,000 subscribers. Like I never pictured it. Wow, 10 viewers. That's crazy. That's definitely a live stream record, at least when it comes to a live stream like this. But to be honest, I've only done 4 live streams, so it isn't much of a big record there. But still, 10 viewers, like outside at least of a weather video. When it comes to my premieres in weather videos, I could get up to like the highest I got was 74 viewers, which was just insane. 74 viewers. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this live stream. What part of the country am I from? I'm from the Northeast. I live in northern New Jersey, around 30 minutes from New York City. So pretty much in the metropolitan area of New York City. Hello, do you go to meteorology school? Because I'm in high school and want to be a meteorologist in the future. So right now I'm going for my environmental science degree. I decided to go for an environmental science degree because it's a little bit more broad. It encompasses a larger area of science, so it gives me more opportunities in the job market for if I were to go for an science degree compared to a meteorology degree, which is a little bit more specialized and competitive. So what I'm planning to do is get, at least for my undergraduate studies, get my environmental science degree. So I have more options to in the job market to more opportunities overall to with my environmental science degree. Then once I graduate, I plan to go to graduate school, and that's when I plan to get my meteorology degree. So um, if you're in high school and want to become a meteorologist in the future, um, just keep in mind that it's a very competitive major. The From what I heard, the job market's pretty competitive, and a lot of time they at least a lot of jobs prefer a master's degree. So if you're going into it, make sure you're prepared to do years of studying up to graduate studies, and it encompasses a lot of science. It's a little bit more difficult in college, but you could certainly do it. Starting from high school, I'd say to take as many math classes, science classes as possible, and then yeah, just go. There are definitely a lot of meteorology schools out there you could choose from, and in my opinion, I don't think the school matters that much. It's actually what you do like in school. If you get good grades, you could pretty much work anywhere. Like the specific school doesn't matter. You could go to any school, and as long as you get a meteorology degree, that should be good. So if you're in high school, just keep taking as many math and science classes as you could, and then you could go to any school with a meteorology degree, and you should be fine. It would be interesting to see a snowstorm on my birthday next week. I wish it would happen. Hopefully, Philip. Where exactly do you live, by the way? The Northeast? Because for this next Northeast snowstorm, at least from my perspective, it's not looking good for the coastal Northeast, at least for right now. And based on the trend we've been seeing this winter, it might just be another rain event. So, but hopefully the forecast changes. There's still that possibility. There's still a lot of days. Central Pennsylvania, yeah, it might be difficult at least for this coming snowstorm. At least we're taking a look at. Maybe there could be that pattern change after that snowstorm because the GFS model does want to bring a multitude of snowstorms to the Northeast after the next snowstorm that's expected to impact the Midwest and at least the interior Northeast. But based on how pretty much based on how bad the GFS model has been when it comes to the more long-term forecasts, I'm not going to get my hopes up until maybe the European model gives a little bit more confidence that that pattern will actually develop. We're just going to have to wait and see. And the end of the month is my birthday, so a big one would be great. Definitely hoping that we'll see a major snowstorm develop. What school am I going to get my degree? I'm going to Rutgers right now, Rutgers Newark. In my senior year of college right now, but I plan to graduate probably May 2024. But I've done most of my classes at this point, and I'm pretty much a part-time student right now. I'm only going to class for 1 day a week. I could have easily finished college this semester, but unfortunately, like all the classes I need to graduate aren't available this semester, so I need to wait like 2 more semesters before I can actually graduate, which is a little bit annoying. I'd just rather get it over with. But for the most part, the work is definitely lighter since I'm only taking a day of class, so it isn't super bad. But yeah, I'm almost done with college at Rutgers. So, guys, you guys are free to ask me anything. It doesn't need to be weather related. I just like talking to you guys. So let me think of a something I could talk about. I'm 22 years old, by the way. 22. Grew up in northern New Jersey for most of my life. I'm of course passionate about the weather. I also do love basketball. I'm a big basketball fan. Um, have you heard of Maplewood, New Jersey? I've heard of Maplewood, New Jersey. I'm trying to think where that's at. I'm getting the vibe that Maplewood, New Jersey is sort of in central Jersey, if I'm correct, or because I heard of Maplewood, New Jersey, but I can't seem to iron out where exactly it's located. But yeah, I definitely heard of that town in New Jersey. I'm guessing it's somewhere in central Jersey. That's gonna be my guess. But yeah, I grew up in northern New Jersey for most of my life. I live near Patterson, New Jersey, 30 minutes away from New York, near Newark. Okay. I was thinking that too. Like I was thinking somewhere around Elizabeth, somewhere around Newark. It I don't yeah, I wouldn't say that Newark or Elizabeth is central Jersey, but it's further southward from where I'm at. But yeah, I assumed it was around that area. So um is that where you're from, Victor, by the way? Because then we're pretty close to each other. I live around 30 minutes away from Newark. Oh yeah, Cape May is beautiful. I almost go to Cape. I pretty much go to Wildwood, Cape May area pretty much almost every year. I love Wildwood, Cape May, just very beautiful. Just gives a true vibe of summer going there. I just love going there. I love the beach in general. I'm a huge beach person. I'll go to the beach even during the winter time. It's just such a soothing vibe. I just love seeing the horizon of the ocean, and it just feels good to go swimming in the ocean. Feels so refreshing. That's why summer is my favorite season. I just love the beach. I just love the heat personally. But I do like the snow as well, which is why I like living in Jersey. Very varied, a lot of variations in the weather, very extreme. In the summer, I think it's perfect weather. In the winter, I do enjoy the snow. But when it's a winter like this, where there's barely any snowfall outside and it's just cold and dry, I don't like winter like that, to be honest. That's when I hate winter, in my opinion. I want it to because the whole point of the winter for me is for it to snow. The snow looks so beautiful, and like I want to see snowfall and enjoy it. But for a dry winter like this, yeah, I honestly prefer summer in that scenario. Yeah, Philip, the humidity sometimes gets bad, especially later during the summer, August, that's when it's the most humid. But but to be honest, in comparison to what we see in the southeast where the humidity is so bad, I think New Jersey's summer is perfect. Any further southward, that's when the humidity gets way too much. I've been in the southeast during the summer, more specifically Florida and Myrtle Beach, and my goodness, that humidity, I can't handle. Like it's to the point where you can't stay outside without going into a body of water, or in general, you can't go outside for over 5 to 10 minutes. The humidity in summer in the southeast is that bad. I think New Jersey's summer, it definitely does have its humid days, and it's definitely bad, um, but for the most part, it's better compared to what we see in the southeast. Why do you think Jersey hasn't had any snow this winter? It's because we just seen this super persistent ridge that's built right up along the East Coast that's been forcing low pressure zones to move just north of the United States Canadian border. And it's not allowing the cold air to move in because, of course, when we see a big ridge right up along the East Coast, the it brings too strong of a southerly flow to the point where it brings temperatures that are way too warm for snow. And it's a reason why this January, I think, was one of the warmest in history for the Northeast. And in fact, it's so far this winter, it's actually on pace, at least for New York City metropolitan area, and I'm sure in other areas as well. It's on pace to be the quietest winter on record. New York City right now is 14 inches below average when it comes to snowfall, and there's still time left. I wouldn't give up hope on the winter just yet because we still have a lot of February, and even March could be active with snowstorms, but it certainly isn't looking good based on this persistent trend we've been seeing with a strong ridge just parked right over the East Coast. I used to work at Amusement Park in summer for 16 years here in central Pennsylvania. I didn't mind 80s and 90s. I just don't like the humidity. Same with me, to be honest. In fact, 80s is my preferred temperature. To be honest with you guys, a lot of people prefer 70s and 60s. I prefer 80s. I like the temperature a little bit warmer than what most people prefer, and so I could easily handle 80s and 90s. And I've been in 90-degree temperatures when it's low humidity, and that doesn't feel painful at all. I went to the desert last year in Palm Springs, California, and it was around low to mid 90s, and it felt like nothing. I wasn't sweltering, I wasn't suffering. It felt perfect, to be honest, like when it's 90 degrees and dry, but the humidity, it just adds so much more. It just makes you so much more exhausted in general. Yeah, I can't handle the humidity. I agree with you on the snow. It is disappointing, very disappointing, but yes, we love KMA. I don't think we have gone to Wildwood. Oh, I think you should go to Wildwood. There's definitely a lot to do in Wildwood as well. Maybe it depends on what type of person you are. Wildwood is definitely more for the activities. It's more family oriented. It's definitely better for the kids as well. There's a lot more activities, of course, on the boardwalk and the amusement park. While Cape May is a bit more of a calming vibe, it's a more chill vibe overall. Um, but yeah, it just depends on what type of person you are. Maybe Wildwood might not be your type of vibe, especially since Wildwood is a lot more crowded as well. But yeah, like if you're into more activities and stuff, definitely try to visit Wildwood. It's only 15 minutes away from Cape May, so it's right there to Cape May. In Maryland, only a dusting on February 1st morning, but nothing else. Yes, pretty much the same for me. At least in New York City, that's that February 1st snow ban. That was the only time New York City experienced accumulating snowfall for the entire winter. Where I'm at in northern New Jersey, we did experience accumulating snowfall earlier during the winter. There was a small clipper system moving through, which brought around an inch of snow in December, and then I think last week or the week before, there was that major snowstorm I was talking to you guys about that brought heavy snowfall to the Midwest and the interior Northeast, but of course not here. And it did bring some accumulating snowfall here. I'd say maybe around definitely less than half an inch before it changed over to rain. So pretty much this winter, only I've only experienced accumulating snowfall 3 times, which is definitely a bummer, but hopefully that changes as we approach late winter. Been there late May, loved it. Yeah, K May, Wildwood. Honestly, it's one of my favorite vacation spots ever, especially Wildwood, because Wildwood, there's just so much to do in Wildwood, especially on the boardwalk. And I feel like Wildwood is small enough. Um, yeah, I feel like Wildwood is just small enough to where you could walk from place to place and see a ton of different activities. I feel like for other vacation spots, one of the things I don't like is where the area is so big where you have to drive from place to place and it isn't very walkable friendly and it isn't very convenient to go from place to place. I just don't like areas that are too large, where you need to drive to activity. I feel like in Wildwood, it's small enough, but it has enough activities where you could easily walk to different activities and stuff. The beach is beautiful, the boardwalk, there's a lot to do. And that's what I love about Wildwood, to be honest. And K May as well. K May, just very beautiful, very chill vibe as well. Very amazing restaurants. Yeah, hopefully I go back this summer. It's around 2 hours and 30 minutes away, so it isn't too far either. It's very convenient. It's a very cheap vacation. Don't need to take any flights. So, yeah, I'll definitely go maybe multiple times in the summer. And I've pretty much been going every summer at this point, which is nice. So, how are you guys feeling when it comes to this winter? Do you guys think it's over, at least for the eastern coast of the Northeast, or if you're in the Midwest, do you think that you're gonna see more snowstorms? Pretty much anywhere in the U.S. What do you think is in store for you guys for the rest of the winter? I'm still holding on to hope because it's still early February and a little less than half of the annual total snowfall happens in February and March. I'd say around 40%. So, and that's still a lot if you think about 40% of total snowfall occurs in February and March. That's still a lot of time for the snow to that's still a lot of time for a snowstorm to develop. So I'm still holding on for hope this winter, especially as we approach later in February. So hopefully that occurs. Been wanting to see snowfall. I have seen snowfall when I went to upstate New York. I went twice so far this winter, which is nice, but I want to see it in New Jersey. I want to be able to experience it every day, not just when I go to upstate New York for vacation. Um, so hopefully it does happen. And man, guys, the cold that happened today and yesterday, that was insane. I think the temperature in my area dropped down to I think 3 degrees and the wind chills fell to almost -20. But I heard in Boston well, I've seen in Boston the wind chills fell to -45 and the actual temperature in Boston dropped down to -10 degrees, which is just insane, to be honest. Um, I think that's the first time Boston dropped down to the negative teens since 1957. So pretty much, yeah, a vast majority of people never seen Boston that cold in their lifetime, which is quite insane. What kind of music do you like? So, in terms of music, I like so many different genres, to be honest. I could listen to I don't really have necessarily a specific genre I listen to or specific artists because there's always that one song in each genre that I really like, but I won't care for the other songs. I could listen to pop, I could listen to I also do enjoy hip hop, rap a little bit. I like jazz as well. I like R&B, a lot of different like genres, to be honest. And I listen to music a lot every day. Just yeah. I also even like video game music as well. I play a lot of video games um and there's just so many songs, especially from Nintendo games that I do enjoy. And yeah, I love music. I don't know what I could do without it, to be honest. I listen to anything pretty much. So I don't really have specific preference, to be honest, when it comes to musics. So yeah, I listen to a lot. Sometimes in New Hampshire, saw. wind chills of -47. Yeah, it was quite crazy. And in Mount Washington, I think the wind chill went down to -114, which that's just mind blowing. That's almost a record, not only for that, well, that is a record for the United States, but that's not only a record for the United States, but that's a record almost a record in general for the entire planet. I'm not sure if there's really been a measured like record lowest wind chill on Earth. I'm assuming it happened in Antarctica. That's where the coldest temperature on Earth occurred, where it was -128. I'm not sure. I don't know what was a wind chill on that. I don't think there's really a specific record people measured when it comes to the exact wind chill, but -114, man, that's just that's just crazy. And I'd imagine that as soon as you go outside in a temperature like that, you'd immediately get frostbite, especially in 120 to 130-mile-per-hour winds. Wow. I can't imagine, because even going outside when it's 2 degrees with the wind chill dropping down -20, I'm like, how could anyone handle this? I did make a video yesterday. I recorded a video yesterday by a lake where the winds were sustained between 20 and 30 miles per hour. I might upload it. I need to see if I'll be able to edit it and stuff. But yeah, I recorded a video outside yesterday reporting on the strong winds and the cold temperatures, and it was nowhere near at its coldest point. It was like 18 degrees, but the winds I'm pretty sure made it feel like, what was it? Probably close. Yeah, I think it was close to zero. It felt like that was, and keep in mind, that wasn't even its coldest. And I stood out there for only 3 to 4 minutes recording footage, and I couldn't take it. And keep in mind, I had gloves as well. I was prepared. I had my hoodie on, of course, pretty well insulated coat, and I still couldn't handle that. So I can't imagine how -114 feels like. That's just insane. Do you think New York City will get a snowstorm next week? There's still that possibility, but based on the looks of it and based on the trend we've been seeing so far this winter, it's definitely looking, at least in my perspective, less likely. But you never know. We could easily see these computer models shift its forecast where it brings the snow a little bit further eastward to the coastal cities, but I wouldn't count on it, especially since how this winter has been going. I love your videos, and you're one of my favorite weather forecasters I've ever seen. Thank you so much, Joey. I I appreciate the love from all of you. Thank thank you, man. I I emphasize, guys, like, thank you so much. I never thought I could, just the fact that I could maybe help 1 or 2 people just makes me so happy. And to see that I'm able to do it for like hundreds and potentially thousands of you guys, it just makes me so happy that I'm able to help people potentially change how they live based on my weather forecasts. And this to see people really enjoy my content, it just thank you guys so much. How's it going, Jaden? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for all the 12 viewers who joined my stream. So a little bit more about myself. Yeah, I love basketball. I'm a big NBA fan. My favorite team is the Dallas Mavericks. I'm a huge Luka Doncic fan. I also do enjoy video games, preferably Nintendo games. I own a Switch. But I pretty much play any video game. To be honest, I of course play Mario, Zelda, Smash Bros. But I also play GTA, NBA 2K. I love sports games. What else do I play? I play a lot of games. I play Rocket League. I'm a big video game fan as well. and I also love to travel. Just a few weeks ago, I went to the Dominican Republic between January 8th and January 16th. And by the way, for anyone who's wondering about my ethnicity, I'm Dominican, I'm Hispanic. You guys could probably tell if you seen my full name, which is on my channel description. My name's Javier Sanchez. So and based on how I look, you guys could probably tell that I'm Hispanic. So yeah, I'm Dominican. Let me see. Lakers all the way. We'll see. They've been struggling quite a bit, um, and they certainly have the talent to compete with LeBron, Anthony Davis, Westbrook, but they just the thing they lack is just they don't have enough shooting. And in today's NBA, where pretty much teams live and die by the 3 point line, it's gonna be tough, at least with for Lakers' current form, to be able to be good this season, most likely. But I think that they have a chance to make the playoffs, especially with how weak the West has been, because we have the fourth seed being my Dallas Mavericks, who are 28 and 25 right now, which is a crazy record for someone who's the number four seed. But yeah, the West is very weak, so Lakers could easily do a small get a small winning streak and then be able to make the playoffs. So they could make the playoffs. I don't think they'll compete for a championship, at least based on how it's looking like right now. They don't have enough shooting, but we'll see. They can make some roster changes, and maybe they could maybe before deadline they could get someone good, and we'll see what happens. I'm a huge Giannis fan. Me too. I'm a big Giannis fan as well. They won six in a row now, which is definitely good. I was happy when they won the NBA Finals, especially Giannis. Man, pretty much now since Giannis has two MVPs, I'm pretty sure he has two players of the year. And he also has a championship now. He pretty much has nothing to prove. Of course, he should win more championships. I'm assuming he will. But now, since he pretty much won all the awards you could ask for as an NBA player, I'd say he doesn't have that much to prove anymore now that he was able to win it all. I am Hispanic, also love pasteles, rice beans. Yeah, love Hispanic food, especially Mexican food. What ethnicity are you, Luca? I'm pretty sure that's how you spell your name. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. Luca Brunetti. Just came in. Not sure if you answered this, but when did I get interested in the weather? So I've been interested in the weather for quite a while. My interest started in 2009, so we're going on 14 years where I've been invested in the weather. I remember initially when I first started getting into the weather, every day before school, I'd wake up 6 a.m. and during the bigger storms, I'd wake up 4 a.m. just to watch the Weather Channel all morning just before school started, as I was definitely super obsessed with the weather. While kids my age were watching stuff like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, I was watching the Weather Channel nonstop. And the reason why I got into the weather is because I love the idea of being able to forecast, get people prepared in case a weather emergency was ongoing. I also do enjoy the snow, so I sort of root for snowstorms to come through. And I've always been interested in the science of the weather, like how storms are able to form thanks to instability. And I just love the idea of being able to forecast, being able to help people prepare for their and potentially save their lives by warning them about the weather. And I just always loved that idea. So pretty much since 2009 all the way up until now, and probably for the rest of my life, I've always been interested in the weather. How severe will storms get this year in New York City? To be honest, I haven't looked into how this spring will turn out for the United States just yet because I've been so hyper focused on how this winter is gonna turn out. But I am planning to make a spring forecast video once I do get a little bit more educated. But based on the current trend we're seeing, we're likely going to stay. Well, I'm pretty sure we're gonna enter a neutral phase. So based on that fact, the United States should experience a little bit more severe thunderstorms in general because typically during a La Nina or even uh or even a neutral phase, then it certainly there's we typically do see more severe thunderstorms during a La Nina. So I'd say for New York City, severe thunderstorms will be a little bit more likely this year for New York, but I haven't looked so far into it just yet. But I'll make sure to do a spring forecast relatively soon. You are pronouncing it right. I am Dominican and Puerto Rican. Okay, so we're pretty much almost the same. I'm from Long Island. If this winter keeps going the way it has been, I think we will break the record for least amount of snowfall this winter. Do you think this will happen? Ooh, it's something a bit tough to say. Based on how this winter has been going, and we're on pace to do that. But um, it's really hard to say for certain. To be honest, I want to hope for more snow as we approach the later portion of the winter. But based on the trend we've been seeing this winter with just a very strong ridge, it's certainly a high possibility. And probability wise, it's probably the highest this year than it ever has been, comparing it to historical standards, because of course we're on pace to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, there's certainly that possibility. This could be the weakest winter of all time if things don't change quickly. Wow, love the weather since you were 4. That's pretty impressive because when I was 4 years old, I couldn't I wasn't really paying attention to anything. To be honest, I just was very impulsive at that age. So the fact that you were interested in weather at 4, that's pretty amazing. I started getting interested in weather when I was 8 years old, in 2009. So, will you see snow in North Carolina this winter? North Carolina. So, Kuritia. I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. Let me search it up on the map to see where exactly in North Carolina it is. Okay, so that's right up along the coast. So, especially along the coast, it's definitely a lot more difficult because, of course, you have the very warm ocean temperatures of the Atlantic. That's, of course, going to hinder lost snow events from moving that far south and east towards North Carolina. And based on the trend we've been seeing, weather and LO 78, I it's definitely looking difficult that to see North Carolina the outer banks of North Carolina to receive any snowfall this winter, but there's still that possibility. But it's definitely looking less likely, especially since we do have that very strong ridge over the eastern half of the United States that's been just very persistent, um, and it really hasn't moved anywhere. Well, I see snow here in. Do you watch football? Are you rooting for any specific team in the Super Bowl? So I never really got into NFL and to, okay, yeah, the Eagles, I know that they're in the Super Bowl. I want to say the other Super Bowl team, but I feel like I know the other Super Bowl team, but I'm not sure if I'm that confident to say it. I'm a guess. I won't even look. I won't even look at the chat. Let me guess. Is it the Chiefs that are in the Super Bowl? Uh, Maybe I don't know. I don't watch NFL that much. I might get more into it. But I've always been more a basketball fan personally. But in terms of who I'd root for in the Super Bowl, I guess I'd root for the Eagles since they're closer to where I am. I live around 2 hours from Philadelphia. That's right there. Um, and yeah. So when is the one um hmm let me, for Louisville, Pennsylvania? Honestly, I'm not feeling this next snowstorm moving through the Northeast based on what we're seeing with both of the computer models. Pretty much mainly bringing rain to most of the Northeast, especially the European model. So I don't think the next big snowstorm will be this next one in the Northeast. We could see that change, but it definitely isn't looking good for the coastal Northeast. So I'd say the bigger snowstorm in will approach the Northeast by late February. I'd say that's our best chance for our next big snowstorm. Hope we will get more snow here in Vermont. We have about a foot on the ground, but we need some fresh powder. So in Vermont, it depends where exactly in Vermont because um, I think I think the GFS model, I think both the computer models, in fact, do bring snow to the interior northeast, but I think it's more focusing on northern Vermont. If you're more in southern Vermont, more towards Dover and not Burlington, Wilmington Vermont, further southward, then of course chance of new snow would be less likely. But if you're in the interior portions of Vermont, more northward, I'd say the chance is definitely more likely. Right, White River Junction, Vermont. Let me see where that is on the map. So it's right along Interstate 81 and 89 and 91. Let me zoom out a little bit, see exactly. Okay, so that's around central Vermont, at least when it comes to latitude. So based on what the computer models are stating, they want to bring the snow very, very further far northward into Vermont. So I'm not sure if central Vermont would get involved. So we're just gonna need to wait and see how strong the ridge will be along the east coast to really determine if central Vermont will experience a snowfall. Do you get a lot of snowfall where you live, or is it a lot warmer? So in northern New Jersey, it really depends what you're comparing it to. Because if you're comparing it more to the interior Northeast, then it definitely isn't a lot. Because if I go around, even around 1 hour northward, the amount of snowfall I typically experience on average here in New Jersey annually is around 25 inches. But even if I go only around 2 hours northward to Albany, that quickly raises to 60 inches. But so compared to the interior Northeast, I don't get a lot of snowfall. But relative to the United States average, I think the United States average is around 25. So I'd say I get around northern New Jersey and even New York City gets around average snowfall for the most part. But for this specific winter, if you're talking about this specific winter, yeah, it's been a lot warmer. I think I measured the snowfall accumulation for the entirety of this year, and I only received around an inch and a half this year, as it's just been super slow. Late February, your birthday is the 28th to the 28th. So yeah, there's certainly that possibility, and I'd say the highest possibility in late February. I don't believe that this next snowstorm will exactly be the one for the Northeast, at least a big one based on what I'm seeing right now. But we'll see. There's still a lot of time to iron out the forecast. I love your accent. Thank you, Casey. What nationality are you? I'm Dominican, 100% Dominican, but I was born and raised in the United States. Well, I was born to two Dominican parents who were born there, of course. And but I do visit Dominican Republic very often. I just went a couple weeks ago. Last year I went around 3 times, and I do stay there for a prolonged period, around 2 to maybe 3 weeks sometimes, depending on how much time I got. So I do visit quite often, and I love going over there, to be honest, especially for the beach. I'm a huge beach person, and the mountains there in Dominican Republic are very beautiful. So, and by the way, to anyone watching, if you want a nice vacation to go to, visit the DR. Very beautiful. I'm telling you, it's definitely worth going over there. The January 25th snowstorm for me in southeastern Michigan did not close school on Wednesday, even though every school around us got closed. Oh man, yeah, that's only the worst feeling. Especially especially when I was in high school, there were some really bad snowstorms where we had a full day of school, and I would just get so angry, to be honest. I hate it when that happens, where literally every other school closes and then my school is still open, which has happened a couple times. Yeah, that's only the worst feeling. Where in northern New Jersey are you? So I live around Patterson, New Jersey, and that's around 30 minutes from New York City, at least without traffic. You never know with New York City, the traffic could easily extend your commute to over an hour. So yeah, I live right by New York City, and I used to visit the Poconos quite often, and yeah, it's beautiful there with the mountains and stuff. I used to rent a house over there all the time, and I hope to go back to the Poconos. Just a very chill vibe, and yeah, I do enjoy a lot of nature there. The mountains, very beautiful. I was hearing two major snowstorms, so there could be that slight possibility the next snowstorm could maybe be in two separate snowstorms, because we have the GFS model leaning towards two snowstorms developing, because we have one low pressure system that's going to develop a little earlier, and then we have the Clipper system that's going to move through the northern Midwest, that the GFS model wants to bring to the northern United States. But the GFS model, at least for the first low pressure system, isn't expecting as much snow as the European model. So there is that possibility, but I'll say more likely than not, it'll the Clipper system and the low pressure system developing further southward will just sort of merge into one bigger snowstorm for the Midwest and the Northeast. What do you think is causing Southeast Ridge to be so strong? So, a big reason is that the polar vortex this year is very strong. The jet stream winds are very strong. And when we see the jet stream winds very strong, that traps the cold air further northward into the polar regions. And that isn't, that pretty much isn't allowing the cold air to move further southward, because and typically, what causes a stronger ridge is overall a stronger amount of troughing. And there's somewhere in the world, and I think the reason why the eastern half, the ridge along the east coast, is a lot stronger this year is because we've been seeing a lot more troughing move into the Pacific coast over the past several weeks. Of course, we saw that California atmospheric river, and when we see a lot of troughs develop and impact places as far south as California, that definitely limits the chance that the East Coast will experience that much low pressure systems moving into the area. Because in an area where there's a lot of convergence going on along the surface, there needs to be an equal amount of divergence going on along the surface. And of course, what's associated with divergence is a ridge, and then with a low. And since we're seeing a multitude of low pressures move up along the west coast where there's a lot of convergence, there needs to be an equal amount of divergence or sinking air somewhere, and it's been happening along the east coast. So that's the reason why the East Coast ridging has been a lot stronger this year. We need to see less low pressure systems move right up along the West Coast. So that's the reason why the ridging been a little bit stronger up along the East Coast this year. How often do I do these live streams? So I haven't done a live stream like this in over a year now. Last time I did it was back in December 2021. But I definitely want to do this more, especially since I love the interaction I've been getting now with this latest live stream. There's definitely a lot more than what I have been getting in my prior live streams. So I definitely hope to do this more. It really all depends if I have the time to, because sometimes I might need to do homework, or sometimes, of course, a lot of times, like at night, I typically reserve this time to make a weather video. So, but I definitely hope to do this more because I do enjoy doing this. I love the interaction I've been getting in this live stream. So, I definitely hope to do it. And by the way, guys, for anyone new watching this, I thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. It just, I just appreciate it so much that so many people enjoy my content. I never pictured to be this far. So I thank you all for watching. By the way, I've been definitely enjoying this live stream. Thank you guys so much for all your support. So let me see what else. I could talk about. So so yeah, like I said, I do love traveling. I just went to Dominican Republic, and in a little bit less than a month now, on March 1st, I'm going to Los Angeles. I love it over there. Hopefully, I'll be able to move there, but it's quite expensive over there. We'll see. And plus, Los Angeles is a little bit too quiet for me. I do like to experience the bigger weather events such as snowstorms, of course. Well, you could experience snowstorms in California. I could easily drive to the mountains, and in only around an hour 30 to 2 hours away, you could see snow if you live in Los Angeles, which is pretty amazing about California. But um, do I ever go live when there is a big storm? So I haven't done that in a while either. I think the last time I went live for a big storm. So, but what I do more often is that I do record videos when I'm out during the storm, but they're just not live. But I think the last live stream I did when it comes to a winter storm is during Tropical Storm Henri, which made landfall right in between Rhode Island and Connecticut in August 22nd, 2021. That was the last time I did a live stream during storm. But the reason why I haven't been doing it recently is because the weather just been so quiet. I think overall this year for much of New Jersey, of course, we haven't been seeing a lot of snowstorms, and even throughout 2022, it's been mainly quiet. There hasn't really been that many flood events. There hasn't been really that much wet, chaotic weather, at least where I'm at, going on for me to go live. So that's the reason why I haven't gone live as much as I want to. But certainly, when there's a bigger weather event, I will go live. We'll just have to see if winter storm is able to move through the northeast, because it has been quite quiet so far. I started watching you around 1 to 2 months ago and instantly kept watching you and Will for a long time. Thank you so much, Joey. Yeah, I did gain a lot of people who started subscribing to me relatively recently. It started in early December when I started covering the winter storms, and then in December, that's when that was also my best month when it came to views and subscribers for my YouTube channel, where my highest viewed video was 31,000 views, which is just insane. And I think one of the premieres I peaked at around 74 viewers, which I think we got so much for that support. Um, yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you for watching this live stream too, as well, and subscribing. Because it's really been a really good past 2 months for this channel. Because before December and more specifically before September, things were really slow and it was a little bit discouraging, I'll admit, because I wanted to be able to spread my message to most people as possible. And but I still kept persisting, kept uploading every day. Even though the YouTube algorithm wasn't promoting me that much, but I kept uploading, and now it's really been a good past 2 months. So I thank you guys so much for your support. Hey, Weather Sponge, do you see any signs of February 2021 event for Texas? So, Jonathan Miller, you do live in Lubbock, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in um, a February 2021 event, that's going to be very difficult to top an event like that when it comes to the amount of sheer impact because that February 2021 event for Texas, that was crazy. And it's suddenly going to be. I don't see at this point. I don't see any signs of an event towards that magnitude. As it's in any given year, it's really hard to have an event that's as bad as that storm. But there could be that possibility of snow towards northeastern Texas by next week if the European model is correct. And the European model has been the more correct model this winter. So there's certainly that higher risk of additional snowfall moving through Oklahoma and Texas, at least northwestern Texas, by next week. We'll just have to wait and see whether NOL78. Your Let me find your question. I apologize if I didn't see it. I got a big dance. I don't want my dance to get snowed out February 10th. I'll be happy to say be 99% sure no snow, but the forecast could change and end up getting snow in the Outer Banks. So I'd say at this point for the Outer Banks, possibility of snow at least going into February 10th is I'll say it's definitely low. And at this point, you shouldn't expect a snowstorm moving through right around February 10th. It seems like that ridge is just too strong. And if we were to see the snow move a little bit further eastward, I'd say it'll impact more of the northeast coast. I don't think it'll go as far south as the Outer Banks. So I wouldn't be too worried whether NOL 78 if for the snow moving that far south into the Outer Banks. So yeah, I wouldn't be concerned that much, to be honest, if you're that far southward, because that ridge just been extremely strong. Okay, you live in Austin. Um, okay, that's very far south. I don't know if you'll be. It's going to be very difficult to receive any snow that far south. I'm pretty sure Austin only experiences around zero point 0.2 inches of snow annually per year on average. I'm gonna check right now. Austin, Texas, average snowfall. Okay, zero point 0.3. So I was right around the ballpark. So Unfortunately, Jonathan, in any given year, it's difficult for snow to move that far southward, let alone a February 2021 event. We'll have to see. We have seen, of course, this big ice event move through Texas, so it definitely isn't out of the realm of possibilities for snow to move that far southward. And there is that possibility that snow will move into northwestern Texas, but for snow to move that far southward or a February 2021 event, I'll say it's a little less likely, but you never know. The weather could change quickly. Hey, what's up, Chris? Thank you for tuning in. Ready for 6 more weeks of winter? I hope that ends up being true because this winter has been so quiet for so much of the Northeast. I hope the groundhog ends up being correct this time because I do want 6 more weeks of winter. I want the snow to move into northern New Jersey because it's just been way too quiet. Good night, weather. NOL 78. Thank you for tuning in. What is your goal when finished with studies? Do you hope to be on air giving forecasts to the public or behind scenes doing more scientific, technical forecast breakdown stuff? So, to be honest, I'm fine doing either or. I just want to do something related to the weather, something that I'll be able to know will be able to help people, to warn people, prepare. I could be a broadcast meteorologist, but I'm more than fine with being a behind the scenes meteorologist as well. Anything related to the weather, I enjoy, and it feels satisfying to be able to give a good forecast on whether I'm behind the scenes or doing broadcasts. So either or, I'm completely fine with. To be honest, maybe I prefer the broadcasting a little bit more because I do like the idea of being able to say pretty much say what I want to say, give the message that I exactly want to give, which is part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel. I want to give my perspective on situations so you guys get the most accurate forecast. So maybe I do prefer maybe being on air, but I'm definitely more than happy to be behind the scenes as well. Oh yeah, weather, NOL. That happened to me before with my phones where water would get into the charging port. I have a Galaxy S9 and I don't think it's water resistant. I had it for 2 years now, so yeah, it definitely does get annoying that it isn't water resistant. I might get a new phone. It's been this phone been long in the tooth at this point. We'll see. To get something more water resistant, especially since I do go swimming a lot in the ocean and stuff. So I'd like to use my phone at times. So yeah, I just hate it when that happens when water gets into the charging port. There, I'd say, yeah, definitely most likely next winter will be more active because at this point can't get any less active than what we're seeing right now. So yeah, it should definitely get more active as we approach the going into next winter because yeah, it can't get any less active than what we're seeing right now. Do you have any family in LA? So, I don't have that much like relatives or yeah, I don't have that much family in LA. But my cousin's girlfriend does live over there, so that's one connection I have. And also, my cousin's cousin, who I'm close with, does live over there. So I have a close relationship with them, so I do have a little some connection with them as well. And also I do have some of my friends who live over there. So there are some people over there I can go to, but yeah, most of my family is more focused in New York City and New Jersey, pretty much, and a little bit of Connecticut as well, and in Dominican Republic, where of course where my family grew up. So Yeah, most of my family is located in the Northeast for the most part, but I do have some connections down in Southern California. Hmm. So whether NOL 78, try putting your phone in rice. That typically dries up the phone. So if you happen to have any rice, that'll be the best option to get water out of your phone, as that'll typically do the trick. What phone do you have, by the way? Whether NOL 78. So yeah, guys, I love talking to you guys. Ask me anything. It doesn't need to be weather related. Um, I just love interacting with you guys. So let me say something more about myself. Get a conversation going, something. So so what else? Apple. Wow, an iPhone 14. What? I thought the iPhone's been water resistant. I did, like since probably the iPhone 11 or something. I didn't know the iPhone 14 could have that issue. Did you? That is a bit weird. That it's saying that it has water inside. So, guys, what is your preferred temperature? I said earlier my preferred temperature. Okay, top three NBA players. So, top three. Let me think about this because it's so hard, especially in today's NBA, because there's so many good MVP caliber players. It's so hard to rank them because, in my opinion, like you could interchange any player on your top three list, and I wouldn't complain because there's so many great players. You have Luca, you have Giannis, you have Jokic, you have Embiid, you have LeBron, even and there are Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, so many good players in today's NBA. But top three, I'll still say Giannis is the top player. And then I'll give third to Jokic and then Luca. That's my top three NBA players. I'm picking Giannis at first because he's just an elite scorer, already proved himself, winning a championship. He's an amazing defender, amazing lockdown. Oh, top three all time. Top three all time. So my all time lists aren't that good because of course I'm still relatively young and I of course didn't experience a lot of the players back in the 90s with Jordan, John Stockton, Karl Malone. But yeah, top three all time. I'll say Michael Jordan is number one. Of course, a lot of people would say LeBron, who LeBron is definitely up there. I'd still give it to Jordan though. Six championships. Amazing, just an elite scorer. To average 33 points per game in the playoffs on over 50% shooting is just incredible. The second closest player averaged only 29 points per game, which was Allen Iverson. And you could say Luca averaged 33 in his playoff career, but he's still super young. So I wouldn't count it just yet, although Luca is definitely still amazing. I won't disregard what he's doing, but Jordan did it over a 15-year career, which is insane. So I'll still pick Jordan at number one. And then number two, I'll give it to LeBron. I wasn't always the biggest fan of LeBron, but you can't deny his longevity to be doing this at 38 years old is quite amazing. And yeah, great scorer, amazing passer, great rebounder, and even a great defender as well. Won four championships, four Finals MVPs. Only Jordan and LeBron are the only two players with over three Finals MVPs. So yeah, number two LeBron, and then number three, I'll actually give it to Kareem, but I could, but I'm not great with my all-time list, so it could ease. So don't take my complete word on it because I'm not the best at when it comes to at least NBA history. But I'll pick Kareem at number three, just the greatest scorer. But LeBron's about to pass him relatively soon. But yeah, one of the best scorers, very long career as well. So I'll give number three to Kareem. Will Outer Banks have the coldest spring on record? So I'm doubting the Outer Banks will have a very cold spring because I'm pretty sure the sea surf temperatures in the Atlantic are still much warmer than average, and of course, the ocean temperature around the Outer Banks plays a huge role in terms of the temperature you experience, the average temperature you experience in the Outer Banks. Let me actually check right now the sea surf temperature anomalies for the Atlantic because I haven't checked it in a while. Oh, actually, the temperatures right off the Outer Banks right now are cooler than average, but for a vast part of the Atlantic, it's warmer than average. So, but there's just that small portion where the sea surf temperatures are cooler than average, right up along the Outer Banks. But I don't expect that to last. I still do expect the sea surf temperatures off the Atlantic to be warmer than average. So I do expect the average temperature in the Outer Banks to be warmer than average, and also due to a trend we've been seeing with this persistent ridge, I do expect that to continue as you approach a spring, which of course would definitely raise the certainty that the temperatures will be warmer for much of the eastern half of the United States, including the Outer Banks. So I don't think the Outer Banks winter will be that cold. Thanks to the trends we've been seeing so far. But I'll give a more in-depth spring forecast probably relatively soon. If the weather somehow quiets down, where I'll be able to make a spring weather forecast video during the month of February. What reading or class would you recommend for an amateur hobby weather geek to learn the basics? Um, so in high school, of course, there isn't a lot of specialized classes, but during for weather, but during high school, I would recommend physics, which I know physics is a very difficult subject, but physics are a good way to it's definitely needed a little. You need to know a little bit of physics to understand the weather a little bit more. You need physics. Anything pertaining to science, geosciences is I'd say geoscience. The geoscience class is the most um, is the class that's the most related to the weather. I'd say that's where you learn the most about the weather, but also take chemistry, which is another difficult subject, which is definitely the reason why part of the reason why like going for a weather degree isn't always the best. You gotta take the more difficult classes like physics and chemistry, but it's definitely worth it. I've been taking a lot of chemistry classes for my environmental science degree. Been very difficult, but I've been able to manage it, which is certainly good. Um, yeah, I'd say take the most science classes as you could if you're an amateur weather geek or or sort of someone who's into weather as a hobby. LA sounds wonderful. I'm glad you have people over there. Yes, me too. Because having a connection somewhere else, to especially to a place where you want to eventually move, is so much better, because it's of course a lot better than just moving somewhere alone. I love to be around people, so the fact that I do at least have some connections over there, that makes a world of a difference, and definitely makes my plan to hopefully maybe move there for a little bit. It definitely makes it easier, knowing that there are some people I can go to over there. And my cousin might be moving there relatively soon, so that might be another connection I could go to. And it's better too, because even if I don't necessarily move there, I could take a vacation there, stay with them, don't need to pay for an Airbnb, a hotel. I'm certainly happy that I do know some people over there. Yeah, I can meet all the movie stars over there. Yeah, I didn't realize how easy it is to see someone famous in LA until I actually went. They're everywhere. They walk everywhere. Although I live in New York City, amount of celebrities you see on a regular basis over there doesn't come close to what you see in LA. Especially if you go into the more inner city of LA, especially if you go to Hollywood, Beverly Hills, downtown LA, that whole area, it's not very hard to see at least one celebrity over there in LA. So it's definitely nice knowing that it's pretty easy to see a celebrity over there as well. Good night. This has been one of my favorite live streams. Good night, Luca. Thank you for watching. Glad to see a fellow Dominican be able to watch. I would recommend follow our IRC cycle. It is weather 2020 is very accurate. Oh, okay, I'll definitely take a look at it. Weather NOL 78. In fact, let me search it up right now. Oh, some of your apps not working. My phone has not working whenever I try to open Discord or Cookie Run Kingdom. Okay, so you tried everything. So in a scenario like that, so of course, the more one of the more obvious ways you could fix it is like resetting your phone, shut down. But I'm assuming you already tried that. But in terms of when apps aren't working, have you tried cleaning out your phone? You go in settings, clear out all the data and stuff, clear out the RAM so it runs a little bit easier. That might work. Um, or another thing too that some people don't that some people might ignore is that sometimes your app might require an update, which I did learn with a couple apps that some apps might not work because they don't have a specific update. Check if your app maybe has a new update that's required. That might work if you haven't tried that. Um, and what else? Of course, you could clear the data, clear the memory out on your phone. That typically does work, but if none of those work, you could factory reset it. But yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you don't want to do that, because that does pretty much remove everything where you need to start from scratch with your phone, and then it becomes annoying trying to download everything back, and you might lose some stuff. So you could try factory resetting it if you tried everything, um, but yeah, if none of those work, then you probably need to see someone to fix it, or maybe get a new phone. Because if none of those work, then it's definitely a more deeper issue in the phone. That's that's definitely a lot less surface level than just resetting it. So that would be my recommendations if your app isn't working. Gary's Lazak. Oh, it says here that he retired. Is that true? Whether NOL? Because the first one of the first articles I see on Google is that he's retiring. Maybe from that specific network. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Weather 2020. So he's no longer doing weather anymore at all. So in terms of my plans with the channel, I plan to continue to upload every single day. Um, he might still do live stream on YouTube at times. You might see it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I love watching other weather weather YouTubers. And I will admit I did gain a lot of inspiration from them. They're part of the reason why I do this today. Direct weather was a big inspiration that inspired me to do YouTube after seeing how big he got. And there are other really huge YouTubers which do an excellent job. I love watching all the other weather YouTubers. Ryan Hall is doing amazing with his channel. That's crazy. He's able to hit 1 million subscribers. Props to him. He does amazing weather videos. He's one of the bigger independent weather YouTubers. And yeah, I hope to get to that level eventually as well. But I'm definitely more than happy to have all you guys support me. 2,000 subscribers. It's quite amazing, and I'd say I'll probably approach 3,000 soon, which I'm super thankful for. But yeah, in terms of the future of my channel, yeah, I still plan to continue to upload every day. For the almost every day. There are some days where I'm a little bit too busy. So I do apologize for the days I don't upload. Um, but yeah, I still plan to upload every day. Pretty much a lot of the same stuff you've been seeing over the past around 2 years. I've been doing this. I really started consistently in December 2020. Plan to do mostly the same. Just continuing to post weather content regularly because I love doing it for you guys. I love all the support I get, and yeah, just it really just warms my heart to see a lot of you guys be able to enjoy my forecasts. So yeah, I'm gonna keep uploading every single day. I don't plan to stop in the foreseeable future. I'm probably gonna do this for the rest of my lifetime till maybe YouTube ends or something. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I plan to do this in some form in the future for the rest of my life, hopefully. Um, would I still do live streams? I definitely do want to do more live streams now. Um, yeah, I definitely do. I love the engagement I've been getting this live stream. I love talking to you guys. It really all just depends on time, but I'll definitely do more live streams in the future. Um, so yeah, and once there's a big storm, of course, I'll try to do live streams during a big storm as well. It's just been a little bit too quiet. We're gonna need to see the weather really ramp up for me to do more of those. But in terms of these live streams, yeah, I definitely plan to do it more because I love talking with you guys. Phantom Weather Channel. Let me see his YouTube channel right now. I think I've seen him. I'm pretty sure I heard that name before. Phantom. Okay, I just subscribed. He's around close to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you for suggesting. So if you guys have any more weather channels, feel free to mention them because I just love seeing everyone's perspective on the weather. I just love weather analyses. So yeah, guys, in the future, expect more live streams like this. I do enjoy doing it. And I love the engagement I've been getting. Thank you again for watching. So in terms of what I typically do on a regular day, so now since I only have one day of class, I spend a lot of my times at home. To be honest, in terms of what I'm doing right now, I'm not necessarily working at this point. But I am planning to find a job soon. Maybe do DoorDash. Again, I was doing DoorDash. I might start it again. But yeah, I've been at home. I do a lot of homework. I play video games, of course. I love basketball, and um, I do watch a couple of shows. Um, I've been watching a lot of Jake and Josh recently. Still love that show. And yeah, I'm on YouTube a lot as well. I do this every day, and it typically takes me around 2 hours to do one video. I do my analysis, I'm making my thumbnails, actually record the video, um, which does take some time overall. Yeah, same with me, Joey. When there's a big snowstorm, not only do I do my video, but I also look at other YouTube channels to see what their perspective is on it. And sometimes I do take inspiration from what they say, as I've always enjoyed watching weather forecast videos. We are, we are definitely over. Well, I'll say the 2021 winter was quite active and cold for the East Coast. Last year's winter for 2022, it was a little bit more quiet. It was pretty decent, at least for the northern portion of New Jersey. We received around 20 inches, which was slightly below average, but you still had some snowstorms here and there, which were at least decent. But this year, it's just been way too mild. But I'll say I wouldn't say we're overdue for one, but based on how quiet it's been so far, we definitely are overdue for at least one snowstorm this specific winter. But yeah, I would say 2021 winter was pretty active. The winter of 2019 to 2020, that was super quiet that winter. I think we only got one snowstorm and maybe 3 inches total that entire winter. So I'll say that only one of the past three, or if you want to include this winter, only one out of the last four winters have been active, or at least more active than usual. While the past two winters, including this one and the winter of 2019 to 2020, those winters were definitely below average. But I actually measured the amount of snowfall we've experienced over the past 12 years in New Jersey, and overall the past like 12 13 years we saw very active winters for northern New Jersey because I measured the average between 2009 and up to until now, and the average snowfall we'd receive each winter was 37 inches, which compared to the overall average, that's 12 inches more because the overall average over a long period, I think it's either 30-year average or 100-year average, is 25 inches. Over the past 13 years, like it was 37 inches. So the past 13 years have been active when it comes to winter seasons, more active than usual. So there could be that possibility that eventually the winters here will fall more back closer to average because it's been so active as of recently, and it's difficult to um maintain that many winters with the snow being that heavy each winter. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. Am I an animal person? So, I wouldn't say I'm super obsessed with animals, but I do have my favorite animals. I love turtles. I used to have them around 10 years ago. They're so beautiful animals, but I'd say one of my favorite animals right now is the polar bears. They're so cute. They're so beautiful. It's such a shame that they're dangerous because I just want to pet one so bad. But yeah, they're such beautiful animals, um, but definitely very dangerous for anyone who doesn't know. Well, I'm sure all you guys know, but for anyone who might not be familiar with a polar bear, don't try to pet one. They run around 25 miles per hour. They'll outrun you. They weigh over 1,000 pounds, and they're very deadly animals, and definitely the most aggressive bears because polar bears they don't have a lot of food in the polar region. So any food they see, including humans, they'll just go after without thinking about it, and they could smell from miles away. So if you see a polar bear from afar, even if it looks like they're not looking at you, they could smell from miles away that they already know that they're there. So yeah, they're quite dangerous animals. They're so beautiful. They're one of my favorite animals. I love polar bears, and I'm also more of a cat person than a dog person, which might be controversial to a lot of people. I know more people prefer dogs over cats, but I love cats. They're so chill. They're sort of they sort of fit my personality as well. I'm a very chill type of person. I'm relatively quiet for the most part. I just love how chill, and cats are beautiful in my opinion. Some people I know get scared of cats, but I think they're so beautiful and just so interesting and mysterious to look at, which is what I like about them. I also followed April the giraffe in 2017. Oh man, she died. Oh man. Giraffes are cool animals too. Never I don't think I've ever seen or at least remembered seeing a giraffe in person. Um I it's in fact it's been a while since I've been to a zoo. I haven't been there in such since I was a little kid, and I don't even remember it at all. You know what? This year I'm gonna try to go to a zoo. It's been way too long without going to a zoo. Because it's been a while. I haven't been to a zoo in quite a long time. Oh yeah, a ton of people watch Ryan Hall, y'all. I'm so amazed he was able to hit 1 million subscribers because no other weather YouTuber, at least independent weather YouTuber, is able to come close to that. I think the second highest is direct weather, and he has around 200,000, which is still amazing. But Ryan Hall reaching 1 million, that's insane. But props to him. He's an amazing YouTuber, makes great weather videos. A Norwegian camper was killed recently by a polar bear. Yeah, that's yeah, you gotta be careful with polar bears. They're definitely not an animal you'd want to mess around with. So anytime you plan to go further northward into the polar regions, you need to be extremely, extremely careful, especially during polar bear season. I forgot when exactly polar bear season is. I'm pretty sure it's in the fall, in October, November, or something. But yeah, gotta be careful always when it comes to polar bears. All right, guys. So I've been going on for around live for around 140 minutes. Probably about to end the stream soon. It's getting a little late. It's midnight at this time, but I thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. It was definitely it was definitely great to talk with you guys, interact with you guys after so long outside of weather videos or in the comments. Because I haven't done a live stream like this since December of 2021. So it's been over a year, but I definitely plan to do this more. Love talking with you guys. Amir, I do live in the Northeast. I live in northern New Jersey. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Maybe in my next live stream, I'll do a little bit more. Maybe play a video game while I talk with you guys. Maybe I'll do that, but I don't want to turn this channel into a gaming channel. At the same, let me know what you guys think with that. If you want to see gameplay while I talk, or you just want to talk with me. Um, but yeah, guys, I thank you guys so much for watching. Um, and I hope you all have a good night. Thank you for 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll definitely do these streams in the future. So thank you guys for watching.